Hey everybody, we're here at the KWA booth with Alex from the PTS Syndicate, and we're going to talk about some of the new products that you've had and some of the new ones for 2014.
Yeah, so you know, Josh, it's interesting because a lot of people are like, Magpul PTS,
Right.
what's going on? And yeah, we're no longer producing Magpul products. So I actually had a few people come and say like, is PTS dead? And I'm like, dude,
No.
I'm right here. Can you at least wait till I'm out of the shot? But no, we're not. We're still here. We have a lot of different brands. That's why we're now known as PTS Syndicate, because we represent quite a large variety of brands. You know, we have Mega Arms. We also have Centurion Arms, Battlecom, Griffin Arm, and the list goes on. So we do a lot of different brands. Yeah, that was kind of a big hit losing Magpul, but we're kind of consolidating and we're trying to really sort of leverage on all these other brands to produce more variety, because everyone loves variety, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, especially with the AR-15 platform, there's so many different sort of accessories you can put on the gun more than any other platform.
I don't understand. I have so many customers that are like, oh, I don't want to import variants. Like, why? There are more accessories and upgrade parts, replacement parts than anything else on the market.
It's like, what do you want your AR to look like? Let's work it out, right? So, yeah, so we're still here, still alive, as far as I know. But yeah, this year we got the Mega Arms gas blowback rifle. And it's developed for us by Yikai. It's derived from the LM4 based system that Yikai developed for KWA. And we're really excited about it. Last year, we had it was a more traditional looking AR-15 with a replaceable front end. We went back to the drawing board. We said to the Mega Arms guys, like, look, we wanted something that is purely Mega Arms front to back. And they're like, well, funny that you should say that, because we actually have a new upper receiver set coming out, where it's monolithic styled. However, it actually has a separate front end to the receiver. Still super lightweight. It looks like an uninterrupted Picatinny rail, which is really great. But it's still skeletonized and super lightweight. It's got a key mod. Now this is a true key mod. Okay, it's not just drilled through to look like a key mod. It's got the bevels. You know, if you have
so it's still compatible with the key mod rails.
If you have like standardized, true, like real steel type key mod accessories, it'll mount on that, right? So you know, it's like you don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to take. It will take. If you hit it, it'll hold together just like a real firearm would.
Awesome.
It's got this whole upper receiver right here. The upper and lower is cast and then machined, so it's billet styled, and also it's one piece. So the other thing that was with the LM4s in the past, there were multiple pieces that comprised.
Split. Okay.
And some of them had like sort of rail wobble, and like drive me a little crazy. This is all one piece now, beautifully CNC'd. The finish is all hard anodized mil spec, really nice.
Hard scratch anodized,
also for this, it's like, you know, if you lock back.
So with the Mega, can you power stroke it?
You sure can.
Ah, yes, because that's my biggest complaint with some of my law enforcement and training customers is that I have to mod them all for them. So that's awesome.
Not to speak to KWA, but their new LM4s, from what I understand, the new CQBRs, and I think some of the other ones that are coming out, they also have that modification done to it, because that was something that, you know, we really pressed on, and I know a lot of clients pressed upon them. It's like, that's really important, and that was really important to me too. So I'm really glad that change is being made. Perfect. It's a great gun. We're really excited about it. It's got a skeletonized trigger.
And what's the trigger pull?
That's a really good question. I should have brought I have electronic trigger. I should have brought it with me to see the trigger weight. I'm not entirely sure. I like it. It's you know, it is.
It's comparable for what you do, because I mean you also do a lot of real steel.
I do. I love Geisley triggers. Those are my favorites. I've run SSA for years. Nothing related to PTS in any way.
Right.
I run SSAs and Super 3 gun triggers, and I love them. It feels like a really nice trigger.
Because that is also with some of my clients, is they want that trigger pull to be just like spot on. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So I mean, it's a question.
No, it's great. And the thing is that's really important about this is, you know, when we've done the LM4 Magpul LM4s in the past, they were about 480, 485, and they had a lot of polymer accessories on them, right? This is a lot more machine time, all metal handguard, a lot more just it's more expensive, and yet the price point on this is going to be about $480 to $485.
Excellent.
So it's a really competitive price point. It's really cool. I don't know where the front sight went.
That's not good.
Show. Sometimes things walk. I'm not sure if that happened. Someone's walking around with an Allen key. But the front and rear sights will come with it, fixed iron sights. We know that a lot of people will replace a lot of stuff like grips, stocks, whatever. So we basically designed it so that you can put whatever you need on it, so you customize it to what you want. But the sights that do come with it are quality, feel like quality like the rest of the gun. So we're really excited about that.
Excellent.
Also, we'll be coming out with Battle Arms development selectors. Are you familiar with the Battle Arms selectors? Basically, they're ambidextrous selectors. They're really cool. The idea was that they would have like a variety of different selector types, so that if you want like a short selector, or a hybrid selector, or a thin selector.
Yes, I've seen the post on them, yes.
So the Battle Arm development selectors we're going to have coming out will be for AEGs, which will probably just be for the one side because AEGs have limited.
Right.
But also for the LM4 system as well as other systems. And it will come with a full set will come with 5 different levers. So you can set up for however you want. So like, I know a lot of guys who are lefties. I know a lot of guys who like to shoot both sides of the shoulder, so they want to be able to manipulate the trigger, the selector from both sides. They can do that now. Awesome. So it's going to be really cool.
Cool.
Still talking about the gas blowback systems. We also have the gas blowback massage. So, it's going to be sanitized of all Magpul logos, but we got the approval for them to continue making the Masada.
Awesome. So
we are going to be coming with that. I'm not entirely sure. I can tell you with the Mega, that is shipping right now. Some of the Asian distributors already have them. They should be landing in the US within the next 3 weeks. So they should be available very, very soon.
Excellent.
The Masada, and I know you love the Masada.
I did.
Yourself.
Yeah, I do. It's a testament. I've heard some people, everyone has their personal preferences, but I play hard. Like mine is beat up.
Yeah.
I've put it through the ringer.
Use it.
I finally just broke the stock on mine, but I was also in the back of a vehicle that went over. We all came up out. Yeah, it was awesome. And we were mentioning earlier that this particular gas blowback rifle uses the KWA.
It uses the LM4 system that Yikai developed, that KW uses, and they also license to us.
So it's good. It's compatible with LM4 internals.
It is compatible with LM4 internals. I'm not entirely sure about the trigger group and everything because
right.
Whatever,
it's proprietary.
but it will accept the same LM4 mags.
Exactly.
So you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of LM4 mags. We already have those P mags from the past. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but we'll talk about the EPM in a little bit. They're going to be producing EPM mags for the LM4 as well eventually. And I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But anyway, there it is.
With PTS Syndicate and KWA, one of the things that I noticed that you guys take a lot of feedback and you're constantly improving.
That's really important.
And magazines. I mean, I've been extremely impressed with the magazine compatibility.
Yes. Also
using the ones you designed for it, but also being, you can only do so much backwards compatibility with the existing market, but you strive for it, and that's awesome.
The key was to try and get a standard that worked. I've been talking about this for years. I bought gas blowback rifles ever since the WA, whatever. Actually, I've been doing airsoft for a long time, over 20 years. But when the WA first came out, I was like, that is rad. That is so cool. I can actually do all the training that I've been doing over the years with an airsoft gun. But then, I spent over $1,000 on 10 mags. They immediately started leaking, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not doing this right. And I was just frustrated because a lot of the gas blowback rifles that are coming out, you had to spend a lot of money straight out of the gate. And it was really frustrating. And when we first started talking to KWA and Yikai about doing gas blowback rifles, they were showing us what they had, and they were solid guns. And what I liked about them was that they were good guns out of the box.
They were. They are.
If you wanted to leave them as a stock gun, that's fine. If you wanted to modify them like your unique personal AR, you can do that too. But you didn't have to drop an inordinate amount of money on the internals just to get it to be where it should be out of the box. And that's what's really frustrating. They're hard use guns. I know a lot of guys that use them. We use them at a lot of training events for LE and mill guys. And those guys will use anything like a hammer.
Yes, absolutely.
And they don't care. And they beat the crap out of them, and they still run. They take a little bit of maintenance, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on them like you do with a lot of those guns. So we like them, and I'm really excited for this. I'm glad they're going to come out with the gas blowback Masada and also the Mega. And I'm also pushing them to do other gas blowback rifles for other brands that we also carry too.
And I mean, so everybody knows this is not the drop-in conversion kit style. I mean, this is a new design. This is a new gun. This is definitely something to look for. Dedicated. I know everybody kind of knows about the Battle Comp series. Battle
Comps are great. I've run Battle Comps for years. They, I know the guys there over the years, and they're great guys. Make great products. We just wanted to make sure that we kind of can have a really good market share of different products because people want to have variety, right? So we have Battle Comps. We have the Battle Comp 1.0s, the 2.0s, and the Battle 1.0 and 2.0s are sized a little bit more like an A2 size flash hider. They also came up with a 1.5. I live in Cali, and it's like if you want to have like you have to have a 16-inch overall length barrel. That's why they developed this 1.5 because it's supposed to be 1.5 inches in length to take you from a 14.5 to a 16-inch overall. But it proved to be really popular. A lot of people like it, even if it's not a 14.5 inch or whatever barrel. It's just a cool looking break, and it functions just as well as a 1.0. No, that's real steel. Airsoft is like it's mostly for looks, but it's cool to have something that reflects either your real gun or you just want a badass looking rifle.
Yeah, I have the 2.0, and I was just impressed with the machining, the quality. I mean, it comes with the shim kit, so you can get it just right.
It's not painted. It's finished just like the real thing. I really like them. So we have the BABC, which is supposed to be for the 308, or basically anything over a 5.56 round. And then new for 2013 into 2014, we also have the Griffin Armament stuff. Now with Griffin Armament, also cool looking brakes. They had a flash suppressor, they have a muzzle brake, a tactical comp, and a flash comp. And there are a variety of different items. And basically they all are supposed to, for real steel, have slightly different functions, pros and cons, depending on what you needed it to do. Well, we've been doing that for a few months now. Though new for 2014, we're going to have the M4SD2 suppressor.
Okay, and then these are a US version?
There will be a US version and an international version.
Okay.
The US version will obviously be won't have foam and all
will not be foam solid.
We're going to try and make sure it's still light so it doesn't weigh down your barrel. Kind of like what we did with the AACs, and they're quite nicely weighted.
Which I've run an AAC. Phenomenal quality. There's no bounce off. I've never bounced a BB inside the extension, anything like that. So.
Well, what I really love about the M4SD2 is the fact that we currently produce 4 different muzzle devices, the ones I just talked about. They're all slightly different in style and whatever, but they are all equally compatible with the M4SD2.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
That is
and that's how it is on the real real M4SD2. So you just simply pull the retention plate back, and then you pull the locking plate back. This drops in. There's flats for when you want to use the barrel nut, basically.
The armor's wrench.
The armor's wrench to get it torqued into place. And once that locks into place, you get it indexed right. It won't torque, it won't twist. It's basically, as long as your flash hiders or whatever muzzle device you have on there is on there properly, it's going to stay in place. Awesome. It's really, really cool. I'm really excited about this. And also we have Centurion arms. So with Centurion arms, Monsieur Leclerc is a Navy SEAL, active duty Navy SEAL. He's also an instructor with the Navy SEAL Sniper School. And he produced Chris Kyle's rifle that he used in theater. And he also produces his own company, Centurion Arms, that has a variety of different rails. Okay, so the main 2 different series of rails he has is the C4 and the CMR. The C4 is essentially like this. It's got pick rails all the way around. And the cool thing about the C4 rails, what I really love is the fact that it uses a regular barrel nut. So if you just have whatever barrel nut, you should be able to install that on there, and it just clamps straight onto that. So that's super cool. It doesn't use a proprietary barrel nut.
And when he's talking about a barrel nut, he's talking about the spoke inside of a delta ring.
Yes, exactly. So typically on a delta ring, it's got the delta ring and it's got the barrel nut and some sort of E-ring clips and some spring clips. You strip all that stuff off and you end up with just the barrel nut itself, and you just reverse that, and that clamps onto this right here. And it's got anti-rotation pins right there, clips right there, so it's pretty solid. What I really like about the C4 rail, the way we do it is the fact that we place all the markings in a non-obnoxious place, at the bottom of the rail. So it says for training and simulation use only on the bottom, so that you can have this on the wall, or you can be walking around an AO at a game, and it's not saying, "Hey, this is airsoft." It's like, we all know what it is, but
subtle branding.
Subtle branding.
Branding.
Got a logo, and that's also really important for us when we're working with Monty. Was that he wanted to make sure that like people weren't trying to put these on real guns and thinking that they're buying the real thing.
So with like this one, does it have the block for the gas tube?
It does have a block for the gas tube. Now it'll come with a gas tube as well, and it has a retention hole on the inside. So when you put the gas tube on there, it's not going to just flop around. It actually locks into place, and that way it looks like you have a gas tube all the way through, but it won't pass through into the receiver.
Excellent.
The cool thing about this is that it's a flush mount all the way to the receiver on the AR-15. So it doesn't really matter if you be able to see it. Plus, it has the clips that prevent it from rotating, so you're not going to really need the gas tube all the way going through.
Excellent.
So it's going to come. The C4 will come with a 7-inch, and also a 9-inch. I'm pushing for them to do the 10-inch as well, the 12-inch.
Right. Yeah, that one's very popular.
I like the 10-inch because it's like kind of a very Mark 18 look. That's what appeals to me. And then also we're going to be coming out with a CMR. I don't know if you're familiar with CMR.
I am actually not.
Super skinny, super streamlined.
And I was looking at the machining, how you have the lightweight cutouts, the weight of these.
All these rails have beautiful machining. They're hard anodized, just like the real thing. They're really nicely laser engraved. But even on this one, the PTS markings are on the bottom of the rail, right back here, and it says for training simulation use only, but right back there. So it's not going to be like in your face, but you know what it is.
Exactly.
The other thing that's really important about all these rails is that they have QD mount points, but they're limited rotation, just like the real thing. And not a lot of people do that because it's a little bit more setup time.
It's easier just to machine it off the rim all the way around.
So it's limited just like the real thing. What I really like about this is just like, because I use CMRs on my real guns, and on the threading on these back ones, most people are really only attaching the grip panels onto these things, so they're just directly threaded onto the rail. The front three on either side, they're drilled all the way through, and they have steel inserts because most people are going to install either he has proprietary polymer accessories for a rail or like a Surefire M600, so Scout light mount, whatever.
Or like the Haley Strategics.
They need those threadings to be a little bit more stronger because, and that's how it is on a real one, because that's going to probably take more of a hit if you're going through a door. So these are steel insert threaded, just like on the real ones.
Excellent.
They're really cool. And a couple other things we have. We have the Polymer Mags for US Polymer Mags for AKs, which are mid caps. What I'm really also excited about is the new EPM.
The EPM.
Yeah. Enhanced Polymer Mag. So a lot of customers have known PTS have been doing PMags and Polymer Mags mid caps for years. So we wanted to try and do our own design of our own polymer series. And we were like, okay, so now we're not working with Magpul anymore. What are all the features out there for magazines, both Stanags, PMags, Lancer Mags, all the different mags out there? What are the stuff that we liked? What are the stuff that's not out there that we want to see? We basically said, let's try and get all the features that we want to see put into a mag and just do it. And we had a lot of input from like a lot of people that we know in military, law enforcement, some secret squirrels I'm not supposed to talk about, but basically we got a lot of really good input from people. And they said, what do you want to see in a mag? So they externally, I'll get to the internals actually first, 150 rounds. So our mid caps in the past were 120 rounds.
Okay.
We were always known for like really good reliability in terms of feeding. Well, then we switched to we were like, okay, we need to have a better sort of sales feature. Let's see if we can do 150 rounds. So we have a 150 round mag. This is a mid cap that's 150 rounds. When it's fully loaded, what I really love about this is at the bottom of the fake bullet window, there's a see-through window. There's a orange follower that comes into view. So when you pick it up, if you see that orange follower, that means you know it's fully loaded.
Awesome.
That's super cool.
That is very cool.
So if a buddy gives you a mag, he's like, here's a mag. He's like, cool, you're not going to give me a blue Falcon, you're going to give me a good mag that's fully loaded, awesome. And that way it's also, a lot of people tend to overload mags.
So that's your indicator when to stop.
As soon as you see that, you know it's fully loaded. Okay. Now, it's got the same reliability of all our PTS mags in the past. Same DuPont Zytel formula that has always been what we've been known for.
And I like that you guys are incorporating the lips, so it has a better look and feel to it.
Allegedly it's tapered more like feed lips, so it's easier to. It actually works pretty well. Externally, that's one feature. The other things is it's got a no snag magwell guide. It's also no snag for when you're pulling in and out of pouches, so it's not going to get caught on anything.
And are these compatible with like the European designs, 416?
It is.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's really important. I got asked that a few times now. It's going to be compatible with Classic Army and VFC 416s, so that's good. I'm not sure if it's compatible with any other ones, but I'm not sure. I just didn't ask. It's got recessed grip panels for front and back if you want a beer can grip. The other thing that people have been asking us was, sometimes when they're trying to pull a mag out of the pouch, if it's not like a short shingle but like a tall mag pouch, they can't really get a lot of meat on there. They can't really do a full beer can grip. So what happens is they grab just very, very little of the mag. So the cool thing is it's got this tab on the front so that you can get more leverage on the mag, more grip on the mag. So
it's also very good for indexing, so you know which end of the mag you have.
That's the next thing I was going to get to. It's really good for indexing. You pull it out, your finger's in the right place, you're going to stick it in there and get it really good, consistent every single time. That's the other cool thing about this mag, the base pad. So we wanted to make sure that we had just enough of an angle on the bottom of the base pad that it can stand properly on a flat surface. It's rubberized overmold, so it gives you traction. So it's enough surface area to give you good traction, but it's also does not so much stuff like the older Ranger plates and other stuff that's out there, where it's like a lot more meat and you have limited in terms of angle engagement.
Right.
This way you can get more angle engagement. It's rubberized, so it's better grip. It's also not so much material that it will impede your close flaps to be able to not be able to close properly.
Okay.
And when you're putting it in palm of your mag, in palm of your hand, it doesn't feel awkward. So it's super cool. It's got a little dot matrix there if you want to number your mags. I do, personally, because I do that with all my mags. So they're wear items. Yeah.
Oh yeah, do close-ups. That's
super cool
awesome.
All around.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, I saw pictures of this earlier in the week, and I was like, "Is that an E-Mag? What is that?" And so I'm really glad.
Very similar.
Very similar, but no, it's got so many features. I mean, this is its own mag. You guys have put a lot of thought into this.
It was really important for us to develop a mag that had the features, that had more features than what we've ever done in the past. Because in order for us to be able to say, hey, you need to buy these mags, people would be like, well, what's the difference between what was in the past? And we're like, all right, start listing off little features that we want to put into it. That's why it's called the EPM, the Enhanced Polymer Mag.
And then it's shut up and take my money.
I hope so. I hope so. I really like the design. Because it's not based on a real steel mag. We had concerns about whether or not people would like it. I've used it. I've put them in guns. It doesn't look out of place.
No, it doesn't.
Which is what is cool to me. I put that base plate on other real mags. Anyway, it's cool. It's just very cool.
Awesome. Well, that's some of the new products you can look for from the PTS Syndicate. They're not dead. Obviously, they're doing some new innovative stuff. I mean, look for it. We'll definitely be stocking it. Thank you so much for your time, Alex. It's been great. So.